right, everybody, welcome back. My guest today is Gina Macaluso. She is the founder of All About Mindset, and she empowers women entrepreneurs to create success from the inside out. With over 15 years of experience in branding, marketing, and transformational coaching, she guides her clients to master their mindset, move past subconscious roadblocks, and take aligned action toward the life and business they truly desire. Gina, welcome to the Automated Coach podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Could you tell us a little bit more about you and how you coach and who you serve?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have been coaching people for over almost 16 years now. I help purpose-driven business owners and professionals. So somebody who's passionate about what they do. It doesn't matter what industry, coaches, retailers, whatever it might be, as long as they're passionate about what they do. I help them align their mindset with their mission so they can create more impact, income, and freedom without burning out in the process, because that happens.
And how'd you get started with this?
I started working with professionals in the real estate industry in marketing, and I quickly learned that I was doing more than just marketing. I was helping them shift the way they thought about their businesses and themselves and building a whole business surrounding what they do and highlighting how they are passionate, their own expertise, and their unique way of how they're serving their clients. And it morphed into business coaching from there.
Okay.
That morphed into adding mindset into the mix because I realized with myself how powerful it was. And it was one of those like aha moments. I'm sitting there with a good friend. I'm like, why am I not doing this with my clients? So now I am.
That's good. What I love about what you just shared is this idea of these multiple morphings, multiple metamorphoses
Yeah.
because I think that matches so many people's journeys. We start off thinking we're going to be one thing and do one thing, and then there's a transition. And I think even just working with someone like you through that is help somebody move securely through that process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So along that journey, and I think all of us in business have encounter one struggle or another. What would you say has been your biggest struggle, and how did you overcome it?
Okay. There's this image that I absolutely, well, I love it, but it's also kind of like a sad image, right? There's this, an ocean, and there's a boat in the center of the ocean. There's nothing else around. And the original image is of a man, a businessman, because he's wearing a suit.
Mhm.
And it's just like standing there in this boat. And then there's nothing around him. And that for me indicates isolation and that aloneness that so many entrepreneurs experience. And for me, that was my biggest struggle. How do I overcome this feeling of I'm all alone? Right. I'm
Wow.
sure you had that moment before too, right?
Yes.
Where
I
you
think
look
a lot of
around.
people can relate.
Yeah, like, does anyone else care that I am doing this? I'm waking up every morning and pushing myself for what, right? Look around, who's here with me along this journey?
Mhm.
I think as a business woman or entrepreneur working on your own business, you get to that point, not just once, not just in the beginning, but throughout your career. I think for me, that's been the biggest struggle. So I know getting to the good part, like what happened? How did I overcome that? Right.
Yeah.
I think it took a lot of practice. What do I do with this? First, I had to figure out what was wrong. Right.
Mhm.
That, you know what? I just don't have a community surrounding me, supporting all the ups and the downs. And I think that's super, super important. And so I've surrounded myself with like minded people, mentors like yourself, clients who inspire me, and women entrepreneurs that understand why I'm not crazy, why I'm not crazy, and why I do what I do. And it completely shifted my energy And it helped me accelerate my growth, not just become more comfortable in my own shoes.
I think it's so important for the part you said about having a community, particularly when you are an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur,
Mhm.
to be around other women entrepreneurs because anybody else who does not fall into that category, they don't really get it.
They do not
They
get
don't
it.
understand.
I love
I just
y'all.
can't go to every little thing that go out for drinks all the time. And like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's, and those like-minded people, like you said, understand the highs, understand the lows, and we're all going through these highs and lows, but the fact that we go through them at different times allows us to create this community of some supportive people because there's
Yeah.
already somebody who's been through what you've been through. There's always somebody who's going to go through what you've been through. And so we can support one another.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'd love for you to share a little bit of your genius with our audience. Could you share 3 tips for our listeners?
Absolutely. So I thought about this a lot. So, first, I think clarity before action. Absolutely 100%. Now, I am the worst at just going for it because I'm called an action artist. People,
Mhm.
my clients have named me this, but I always do always have clarity around where I'm going, right? What's the end result that I want? What is it that I'm going for? And I think before you start running, you got to know where you're running to. And otherwise, you're just busy and not productive. And I think we've all been there. And I think sometimes it can be like doing the dishes, right? You stay busy in your business and it helps you think through things, but you're not really being productive and getting things done and moving forward. So I think clarity before action is a huge thing that if you take that to your drawing board, it'll help you gain more momentum and get to your success and your goals quicker and not give you a headache along the way.
Yes. Yes, that busyness can be so destructive, so sneaky in the way it is destructive because you think you're doing stuff, but you're just moving stuff around and moving stuff from this pile to that pile or
Exactly.
going on social media or whatever little actions you're taking. But yeah, that clarity, one my mentors often talk about making sure you're doing revenue generating activities so
Oh,
that
yeah.
if you are as a business owner, you're not just doing any old anything, but what are you doing that's going to get you closer to closing the next deal, getting the next client? No other clarity, at least that should be one of the things that you're focused on
Yep.
as an entrepreneur. So what's your second tip?
Small shifts lead to big moves.
Say more about that.
You don't have to overhaul everything. You need consistent small changes to transform your results. So it's the baby step. Every goal we have has different milestones,
Mhm.
and every goal, every milestone has different action steps. I teach people during what I call a 90-day dash to really look at what is the specific action step that is going to help you get to that goal, right? And there are just these small little shifts.
Mhm.
Are you waking up and just going straight to your computer? Maybe you don't do that. Maybe so you relax a little bit, you ease into your day, especially for business owners and entrepreneurs. Some of us do have specific time frames and retail shops that we work, but then maybe wake up a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
I talk about mindset, give your subconscious the idea that you are nurturing yourself, you're putting yourself first, you are creating a good start to your day. That's a small shift, but it can lead to big moves. So that's second strategy or tip, small, tiny shifts.
I love how that connects with the first one because first you need this clarity of the direction you want to move in, but that does not mean you take huge leaps to get there.
Yeah.
Once you know where you want to go, then you can map out these small steps that are going to move you forward. Because I think if you try to do it all at once, you're going to be overwhelmed and disappointed and perhaps give up. But if I'm just doing these small steps, each small step is giving you that progress.
Yep,
That's great.
exactly.
And your third tip?
Third tip ties everything together. Fourth, protect your mindset.
Mm,
So your mindset is everything. Okay.
yeah.
My business is called All About Mindset for a reason. It always comes back to that. Whether you're working on strategy, whether you're being productive, whether you're training staff, whatever it is, your mindset is going to shape your actions, the tone. You want to be very intentional about what you're consuming and what you're putting out, who you spend your time with, how you talk to yourself. These are all things that affect every little thing in your business. Your clients will feel it. People say, I can hear when someone's smiling.
Mhm.
Same thing. Is your mindset happy and smiling, or is it bickering with you in the background? Right?
Right.
People can tell. We dispel this energy. So protecting your mindset and making sure that you've got the right focus and the right output with your mindset every step along the way.
And that's what you help people do in your business, right? Is to
Help people do
to
it.
develop that correct mindset.
Yes, and know how to shift when a shift is necessary.
That's great. I would love to get your insights at the Automated Coach podcast. Majority of our listeners are coaches or trying to grow their own business. Can you talk a little bit about how you attract leads and turn those leads into clients and keep those clients happy?
Absolutely. So collecting leads. When I first got into business, one of the first rules that I learned was everybody has to sell, but we all, like, going back to mindset, we all have this idea of what selling is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being authentic in everything you do alleviates any preconceived notions somebody has about selling. Because when I'm out at networking events, when I'm at we were part of Polka Dot, when I'm at a Polka Dot event, a luncheon or a happy hour or whatever, we're all there supporting people and supporting each other in business.
Right.
There's this undercurrent of, am I going to be sold? Right. And we also don't want to, like, am I coming off salesy?
Yes.
So I think being authentic in everywhere I am, it's gotten me these leads. And I've collected leads at networking events
Hmm.
through both Latip and Polka Dot, business chamber events, even workshops that I've gone to for learning. We network there. That's where we collect. And of course, social media, right?
Right.
YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are, LinkedIn. But I also want people to know, like, being yourself and being authentic, a lot of my clients have come from my pool of friends,
Okay.
people I've grown up with, family friends, sorority friends from college or after college of being an alumni, and just people I've met along the way. This is who I am. It's not just what I do. And so if I'm just me, that's when people are attracted. Oh, what is it that you do? Oh, that sounds cool. Or you're so passionate. Oh my gosh, tell me more. I think being authentic in wherever you are, whether you're on the golf course or you're bowling or playing pickleball or
Right.
whatever it is, out to dinner, you're going to attract people to you.
That's priceless right there. Cause I think a lot of people feel like they have to act a certain way or put on a certain persona that is me as the business owner. But then when I'm behind closed doors, I'm a totally different person. That's stressful. That's a lot of work and it's inauthentic. And I agree. If you're just yourself, you're going to attract the people who are attracted to you to work with you or just attracted to you as a person. And the people who are not attracted to that probably are not the people who would be your clients. So it's better you just show them who you actually are.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
that's the feely
Mhm.
attracting these. And I know We also want to talk of the strategy, right? Like the structure of it. And
Right.
of course, that goes into I have a website, I'm on Facebook, and I connect the two, and they go into a funnel. And it's important to have call to actions. And when you're out being authentic, you want to be able to share in a professional way. This is what I do. Here's where you go. So we funnel them into the freebie or go watch this or here's my tool. And then you nurture them. And of course, it's all about value.
Yes.
Doing what you do, if you're providing value, then people stay with you. They keep watching, they keep learning, they keep growing, and they're going to continue to either be your client or continue to be your client.
But now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In the transition from seeing you out in the wild, out in public, to now you communicating with people through email, do you feel that your authentic self is coming through in the emails and in the videos?
I think it can. I think sometimes we tend to rely on technology too much.
Mhm.
I think it's important to, like you said, videos, right? To just sprinkle in this
Yeah. Yeah.
face to face time over a computer. We need photos. You need little anecdotes of who you are, your family life. People like to see that. Any woman in business, you are a celebrity. Clients look at you like a celebrity and they want to see behind the scenes.
Yes.
And so I think you can stay authentic as long as it's your voice. Chat GPT and all these things that and automators and copywriters and virtual assistants can help create the structure. But I do feel like the person behind the scenes
Mhm.
needs to put their own voice into it. Go edit, please edit.
Yeah.
Don't just take it and plop it in there. Edit, add your own little quirks and little anecdotes and little sayings or whatnot to make it still coming from you, and videos especially. And I'm working
That's
on
good.
that. So thank you for helping me with it.
A lot of people shy away from the automation because they're afraid it's going to feel too impersonal. But like you said, you can build your authentic self into the emails. Again, don't just copy and paste from ChatGPT or wherever. Instead, put your own spin on it. And the videos, of personal stories, photos, all of that makes it more personal.
Absolutely. Yep.
Any other ways that you use automation in your business?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is, and I know you work with your clients on this, is that the entire behind the scenes funnel, that CRM,
Right.
relationship management system, for those of you who don't know. So the CRM is hugely important. And I've run across so many people that don't utilize it. They use it like a database.
Mhm. Yes.
My gosh. But these things are so powerful and they can take all this time and energy off of your plate if you just set it up first. And so in my business, I have a full-fledged CRM where all my clients are in all the various things that I do.
Mm.
I work with clients in mindset and building business, but also mindset in terms of real estate and buying and selling homes. So they all funnel into this same CRM and they're tagged in certain ways. Then they're sent through an automation of emails, text messages. You can send those, or even reminders for me to pick up the phone and call them, or even all of my calendar and all the booking systems is all
Mhm.
done automatically.
That's
Reminders
cool.
are sent because when you're and I know some people, they have what they consider a small business. Even those individuals can take this weight off their shoulders if they just use something that helps coordinate everything for them. So they can be the shining star of the entrepreneur and that specific talent that they are. If you're a massage therapist, many massage therapists don't have systems because they consider themselves, well, I'll just send a reminder text.
Right.
Oh, like even if you're working with 3 clients a day as a massage therapist, that's a lot of actually thumb work, right? These are important for massage therapists, right? Get that out of your head. Schedule them, have an automated reminder system, a thank you, give me a review system that's almost always missed. It's so important to utilize your CRM and make sure that it's working for you and for your clients. They'll appreciate it.
Right. And it's less expensive than hiring an assistant, even though you might also have an assistant. Here, you're paying less for this digital assistant that's working for you 24/7. In terms of mindset, it's relieving some of that mental load of, oh my gosh, I have to remember to pick up my phone and send a text to this person to remind them to come to their appointment. If you forget, then that person doesn't show up and that stress related to that. So it's freeing up that mental capacity to focus on some higher order things. And you mentioned something that I don't think a lot of people remember that they can automate. You can automate reminders for yourself. So one of the things that you said is that you automate a reminder to pick up the phone and call someone.
Yes,
So there's still that human touch, still voice communication, and also still automated at the same time.
exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So now our listeners here at the Automated Coach podcast are action takers. What is one action you would encourage our listeners to take?
Like that first step or first insight I shared, take a moment to pause and assess where they're at right now. And then that gives you clarity where you're at, where would you like to go, where would you like to be? And then decide on one small shift you can make today that's going to move you closer to your vision. And then the biggest key in all of this, which I love that your people are action takers, you actually have to take the action.
A minor detail there, yes.
Yeah. Momentum builds when you start, not when you have it all figured out. So decide on that tiny shift and then take that shift.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to repeat that about momentum.
Momentum builds when you start, not when you have it all figured out.
Perfection. That needs to be on a t-shirt, on a poster. That's perfect. That is great. Well, as we wrap up, could you share where our listeners can follow you online, learn more about you? Because I know they're going to want to stay in touch with you.
Well, thank you. Yes. So today's a really big day. And I know this is going to be released later on, not today, but today is a big day. It's 8/8, August 8th, when we're recording this. And today I have released something, a free online tool that helps figure out where you're at so you can make those tiny steps.
Thanks.
It's a few years in the making. It's called the Mindset Map, and it's a quiz. This is your path to magic. I talk a lot about magic because the action steps and the things that I teach help you get things done and get to your goals so quickly it feels like magic.
Nice.
You
Nice.
can go to allaboutmindset.com. It's right there.
Gina Macaluso, thank you so much for coming on the Automated Coach podcast. This was a treat for me, treat for our listeners, and perhaps we'll have you back again soon.